Hey guys, for the past 6 years, I have been talking to men and asking them for their feedback, the things that they cannot stand about women, the things that they love about women, and everything in between. And on this video, I'm gonna give the 10 commandments of things that women should never, ever, ever do if they love the man in their life. So stick around. Hi, my name is Yonci and welcome to my channel, Chasing Yonci. On this channel, I do my best to give you practical tips on how to live the abundant life. If it's your first time tuning in, I encourage you to subscribe and go ahead and hit that notification bell if you want to be alerted every time new content drops. If you guys have come back, that's amazing. Thank you so much for returning. Let's get into this. These are deadly sins that women should never, ever, ever commit. Get your pen and paper. Number one sin, never, ever, ever withhold. Don't withhold sex, don't withhold affection, and certainly do not withhold apologies. You guys, you are only shooting yourself in the foot. Do not try to use these things as a power tool. Do not turn sex into a weapon. Do not turn your affection into a weapon, and do not turn your communication into a weapon. If the man feels like you are not a safe place, he will disengage. And trust me, you do not want to see the consequences. Number two, this one breaks my heart and it pisses me off because I and other women are so badly looking for a man who's comfortable with vulnerability. And if he's encountered this sin in previous relationships, it's really, really hard for him to open up to me and other women. Do not use his vulnerability against him. Do not ever. I would rather you end the relationship and walk away, ghost him, before you open your mouth and use something he told you in vulnerability against him. If somebody disclosed a secret about him, maybe his mother told you something or his sister, somebody told you something in confidence, or worse, he told you in confidence, you take that to the grave. You don't tell other people, and certainly you do not throw it in his face. That has personally happened to me where I told somebody something in confidence in a moment of vulnerability, and during an argument, they threw it back to me and it felt like a knife was being twisted in my chest. It was the worst feeling ever. And women, unfortunately, do this a lot. And this isn't coming from me. This is coming directly from feedback that I've gotten from men. Number three, do not ever, 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 under any circumstance, shame him in public. There's hardly anything worse than shaming him in private, except shaming him in public. If you have to correct him on any level, and I'm being extreme when I say any level, do it as privately as possible. Now, I know that this advice can easily be applied to men as well, but this particular video I'm doing for women. So if you are a man watching this, you can apply it to yourself. You can always learn. But I want to specifically address the things that men repeatedly have issues with women. If you need to correct him, and understand men have a lot of pride, and a lot of the pride is not necessarily bad pride. It's almost like an honor thing, and they're being the leader. The same perfect example. The same way you wouldn't correct your boss in front of a board meeting, in front of a room full of people, or in front of other employees, don't do it to your man. You have to put him in a position to be in tune with his masculine energy. And part of the masculine energy is protecting, providing. He's in that leadership role. This does not mean that he knows more than you or he's better than you by any means. What it's saying is that you guys have made the decision to let him lead. You can give your input, and if you're with a great guy, he's gonna want your input, but it's all about knowing the timing. If you listen to the book, I say listen because I listen to audiobooks. If you read the book or listen to the audiobook, 48 Laws of Power, you understand that you need to learn certain laws to know how to get the best result. So if the end result is that you want something, don't go about it in a way that's going to sabotage your relationship. Go about it in a smart way. Be smart. Number four, a lot of women don't get this because it's not as direct. Number four is don't let any other man think he has a shot. A lot of people look at cheating in terms of like, did I have sex with the opposite sex? Did I kiss the opposite sex? Was I affectionate with the opposite sex? But there is a huge spectrum when it comes to disrespect. There's disrespect and then there's cheating. Cheating is the action, but disrespect has a lot of gray areas that a lot of women are not aware of. With men, men are the hunters, okay? And what they do is they go after the prize that they think has the most chance of being theirs. They don't go after, the super fast cheetah that can run at the speed of light. They're gonna go after the slower deer that they feel like they can hide and tackle, okay? Go with me on this metaphor. If you seem in any way tackleable, that comes across as disrespect to your man. That's why it could be something as simple as smiling and things like that. If you give a man unnecessary attention, and of course people can take this to the extreme. I'm not talking about just a normal day. Let me stop smiling because there's a man around. You know when you're smiling at a man. A smile is giving the man on some level the green light. You want to learn what those green lights are to men. These are some of the things that I talked about in my live stream that I did with all men a couple weeks back. So go ahead and watch that. I'll link it here. But there are things that we as women might dismiss as trivial or no big deal, but that's because we don't understand the psychology of a man. When you give your energy to another man, it's like currency. That money should be spent on your man only. It doesn't matter if it's 2 cents or $3 or $50,000. It's seen as disrespect because you're giving what should be for him to another man. So don't make light of it because for you it's not a big deal. Understand that to him it means the world. If you give a man your respect, he will give you the world. Number 5, this one made me chuckle. Make sure that you always look your best when you're going out with your man. What I mean by this is he's going to take note that when you're going out with him, you're just kind of looking however, but when you're going out without him, you look amazing. A guy wants to feel like you're trying the most to impress him. And so if you're kind of slovenly when you guys go out, but yet when you go out without him, you're looking amazing. You got your freakum dress, your hair is on point, makeup, everything is together. He's gonna start to wonder like, why doesn't she put this much energy and time into impressing me? So, little rule of thought. Number 6, and really this could go with number 1 when it comes to withholding, do not withhold your praise. Do not underestimate how empowering it is to get verbal affirmation from your mate. Women, our words have so much power. Now, not everybody's love language, their top language is words of affirmation, but everybody likes to receive compliments. It just might not be as powerful for some as it is to the other, but don't withhold it. You don't have to be syrupy sweet and, oh baby, I just da 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 da. No, don't be fraudulent. But genuinely take time to think about the top 3 or top 5 things you like about your man and make a point to tell him. One of the rules that I think is really, really good is to make sure you have a 3-to-1 ratio. For every 1 negative thing you have to say, think of 3 positive things to say. And to be honest, I recommend biting your tongue as much as humanly possible. I would say things that you want to talk to him about, maybe write down, and once a week, look at your list and see which things you still want to talk about, because sometimes over time you'll cool off and you realize they're not that big of a deal. Some things are really big deals, but make sure that you put them all on paper. Talk to them at one time when you're in a position to think clearly and without emotion, and let them know, hey, there are a couple things that I want to get off my chest, and make it in a setting that's comfortable and also condense it to a certain amount of time. Don't just go in on him for hours and hours and hours, because guys can feel overwhelmed and they can feel frustrated and feel like, man, there's nothing that I can do right. They feel hopeless. And you don't want them to feel discouraged or hopeless. That's what I'm trying to say. So give them bite-sized pieces and give them things that they can work on. Don't just make it seem like you're complaining about how terrible they are. Give them action items. Guys are action-oriented, just like we as women are like, just listen, we want to vent. They're the opposite. They're like, give me clear instructions. Okay, you don't like it when I do this? Okay, so what should I do? Give them clear and concise options. No shade, but talk to them like kids in that standpoint. Give them clear directions. Don't expect them to be intuitive and understand how to fix it. Tell them what the solution is. Give them the problem and then follow it up with the solution. Do it in as few words as possible, be as concise as possible, and don't give too many things all at once because their minds will explode, okay? You're welcome, guys. Number 7, woo! When they told me this, I sympathized. Number 7, this is more applicable during the dating phase than anything. Ladies, stop acting entitled. Now, it's no secret that we're the prize, okay? But we shouldn't act like it. We should not carry ourselves in a way that we act like we're better than them. When you know something is true, you don't have to flaunt it. It's like somebody who's really wealthy. It's the difference between old money and new money. When you're really wealthy, you literally don't care if someone acknowledges your wealth. You don't care if you look like $1 million because you just know you're wealthy. If you really, truly, genuinely think you're the bomb.com and the prize, you don't have to carry yourself in a pious way. You don't have to say things that are condescending and belittling. There are lots of things that a woman can do that make her seem like she's entitled. When you are on a date, say thank you, say please, smile. Little tiny things go a long way. I was raised that, a man is just lucky to breathe your air. But if you come across that way, it's very off-putting. So be gracious, be kind, and genuinely feel grateful that this man is spending his time with you and his money. Because as women, we get to walk away from a date feeling like, ugh, that was a waste of our time. The men walk away from the date going, ugh, that was a waste of my time and my money, okay? So for that simple fact alone, just be generous. Now, if the guy is rude or a jerk, I'm not saying you have to fake it and be like, oh, thank you for being an asshole. No, but what I'm saying is if he's a gentleman and you're just not feeling him, or if you're a gentleman, he is a gentleman and you are feeling him, say thank you. Be pleasant, be feminine. That's a whole nother video that I'm gonna be doing on femininity, but for now, just put a little marker there. Number 8, and the 10 commandments for women. This is a sin. It should be a sin, guys. Don't obsess over things that don't matter. Understand that guys do not care about nails, makeup, hair for the most part. They really want you to just be tidy and neat. But a lot of times we as women can take the fun out of things because we overly obsess about our appearance. And this is the crazy thing. A lot of the stuff that we do to try to be attractive ends up being a C blocker. I have to say it like that, C blocker, because a lot of times guys want to be spontaneous. They want to pick up and go and do something fun. But if they know that they suggest going somewhere, the woman's going to obsess over her outfit or spend an hour in the bathroom doing her hair and makeup, it kind of takes the fun out of it. So as much as possible, try to be as low maintenance as possible, because the more secure you are in yourself, the less you tie your identity to the outward embellishments, for lack of a better word. In the Bible, it talks about adornment. So adorn yourself with the personality traits and less outward adornings, okay? All the earrings, makeup, jewelry, that's fine, but don't let that define you. Don't let it keep you from doing fun things. I literally knew about somebody who didn't want to go to an event because they had been photographed in that same outfit on social media previously. And it was like, oh my God, what a prisoner to your own vanity. Sometimes we have to just get over ourselves and look at the bigger picture. If our guy wants to go do something fun and spontaneous, who cares if you don't have a full beat? You probably look prettier without it anyway. But that's a whole nother thing for another day. Number 9, and this is only relevant to people who are dating, do not shame him when you turn him down. You guys, we are so blessed as women to not, in society's eyes, have the role of being the pursuers. Thank God. I remember one time I was at an event and I was tasked with getting names for an email list because I was co-hosting the event. And I have no problem talking to people. That's not an issue for me, clearly. I don't mind public speaking. But there was something about being at the mercy of the person I was talking to and needing and wanting something from them. So in this scenario, I wasn't asking them to be in a relationship with me or give me their phone number, but I was asking their email for them to be added to the list to be invited to the next event. I'm telling you, it was so awkward because it wasn't really organic. I'm in a room. Okay, so this is an event where everyone's listening to music, drinking, having fun, eating. So everyone's kind of clicked up, talking to each other like they would at a nightclub. I'm having to walk up with a clipboard looking like an idiot, excuse me, trying to find a nice conversation segue to insert myself in. And then you make the transaction, you know, you tell them what you want, they either give you the information or you don't, and then it's the awkward walkaway, like, all right, cool, so I'll be over here, you know, or you go to talk to somebody else and you realize that somebody in their little circle was somebody you already approached. It's just awkward. And I'm probably one of the most confident people I know. So understand that as men, it is very awkward for a lot of them. It's just not natural to have to go up to a stranger and approach them. So when you are being approached by a man, please empathize with him and turn him down in the sweetest, least offensive way. Think about yourself. If you were being turned down, how would you want it said to you? Do not use this as a chance to mock him. Do not have the attitude of, have you seen yourself and have you seen me? Rethink your strategy. That is rude. Be humble, be kind, and show love. Karma is a biatch, and she's only that way if you are one yourself. Number 10, last but not least, do not be masculine in any way. And if you don't know what that means, I don't know if I need to do a video on it, but be soft, be gentle, be feminine. Don't be masculine. Don't try to fight fire with fire. Just be feminine. Be submissive, be docile. Now, this does not mean to not be powerful. This just means understand where your power comes from. I cannot stress it enough to listen to or read the 48 Laws of Power. A lot of things that they suggest in that book are things that seem like you are giving up control and giving up power. But the irony is that you have ultimate power. Sorry, that was my evil villain voice. You have more power a lot of times when you do less. I'm gonna leave it at that. Look into that, pray on it, think about it. Anyway, guys, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I ask if you like this video to hit the like button. If you have a comment, share, because that's the only way I can get your feedback. And if you want more videos like this, let YouTube know by hitting the subscribe button. If you hit the notification bell, you will be notified of other videos when they drop, especially my Sunday live streams. Okay, guys, until next time, tell someone that you love them.